Hello students, today we will see the ear, the human ear. Okay, this is the structure of the human ear. So this part, this external pinna and this part, external auditory meatus, these two things together form the external ear. And this part, okay, this and this part, eustachian tube and the bones, ear ossicles together form the middle ear. Okay, and this part alone forms the inner ear. Okay, now let's see how these parts are functioning and how the sound reaches to our brain. Now let's start our session. So welcome to our channel, children. Let's start. First we'll start with the outer ear. Okay, this outer ear I told you already, the pinna plus external auditory meatus together form the outer ear, and then they contains wax and hair. What for they are present? They are present for the purification. The purification of the sound waves, sorry, not the sound waves, but the particles which enter, that will be purified. Okay, in this external auditory meatus. Next one is the end of the outer ear is the tympanic membrane. Okay, this tympanic membrane has connective tissues. Okay, they have connective tissues. Okay, and the outside which connects with the outer ear is made up of skin. Okay, somewhat skin like form, and the inner thing, the inner ear side of the tympanic membrane is made up of mucous membrane. Okay, mucus secreting membrane. Clear? The outside is skin and the inside which connects to the inner ear as a mucous membrane. Okay, this is the tympanic cavity. This tympanic cavity, so simply I will round here. Okay, suppose this is the inner ear. Okay, inner ear have tympanic cavity. Okay, this inner ear have the ear ossicles. These are the ear ossicles. Ear ossicles. Okay, malleus, incus and stapes. They are arranged in a chain like fashion. Okay, malleus connected to the tympanic membrane and stapes connected to the oval windows. Now here this tympanic cavity extends and connects to the pharynx. Connects to the pharynx through the, what is this? Eustachian tube. Okay, this tympanic cavity, the middle ear. Okay, middle ear consists of the tympanic cavity. This tympanic cavity has three ear ossicles, malleus, incus and stapes, MIS, keep this in mind, and this tympanic cavity extends downwards. Okay, and ends at the starting point of the thorax, the throat. Okay, this part, extending part is eustachian tube, which helps in the balance of our pressure. Okay, on both sides of the eardrum, both the ear. Okay, so this eustachian tube helps in the balance of the ear, both sides of the ear. Okay, next is the inner ear. The inner ear is also known as labyrinth. They are fluid filled. Okay, fluid filled. Next one is they have two parts, the bony labyrinth and the membranous labyrinth. The bony labyrinth have the fluid called perilymph. The membranous labyrinth have the fluid called endolymph. Okay, so in the main part of the inner ear is cochlea, and the secondary part is the vestibular apparatus. Okay, these two parts compose of the inner ear, cochlea, vestibular apparatus. Cochlea for the sound assimilation and taking the sound to the brain, and the vestibular apparatus balance of the body. is maintained by the vestibular apparatus with respect to the force of gravity. Okay, so this cochlea is a coiled portion. I will show you the image. Wait. See this part. This is the cochlea. We have came now. I told you, the Eustachian tube which connects the both eardrums. Okay, so they have bones, malleus, incus and stapes. This part we will see now how it functions. The part which I shown you only, I have cut that portion and drawn over here. Like that you should imagine to understand purpose. So the upper, this cochlea, divides into three regions. Okay, the upper, this is composed of the perilymph. This is perilymph and this is also perilymph. Okay, perilymph. And this is composed of endolymph. Okay, this part which surrounds the upper and the lower body of the cochlea is the upper membrane is Reissner. This is the upper membrane and this is the lower membrane, that is the basilar membrane. Next, this upper membrane surrounds this fluid called scala vestibuli. Okay, this part is scala vestibuli and this part is scala tympani. Clear? So we have three regions in the cochlea. The whole coiled region is composed of this. Please imagine this like we have this coiled, no? So I have straightened this. Okay, I'll straighten this and this have three layers. Okay, this upper layer scala vestibuli, this down layer scala tympani, this middle layer is endolymph layer. Okay, this is scala media. Clear? Middle, no? So scala media. So this part is scala media. Clear? Now we will part is this one. This is the important part where the main assimilation of the sound takes place. The organ of corti. This is organ of I'll write here. Organ of corti. Clear? Organ of corti is the main part of the ear which amplifies the sound. See this part. So this is organ of corti. Clear? This organ of corti has hair cells. Okay, this hair cells at their top have stereocilia cells. Okay, stereocilias. This stereocilias, the movement, the sound waves makes the movement of these stereocilias and depolarizes this nerve afferent fibers. This afferent fibers takes the information to the brain. Okay, so that's how this organ of corti functions. Okay, this organ of corti have a tectorial membrane at this part. Okay, tectorial membrane. The contact between the tectorial membrane and the hair cells make the auditory receptor, make the afferent nerve fibers to depolarize and take the information to the brain. So clear about this part? The contact between tectorial membrane and the hair cells which have stereocilia projections makes the afferent nerve fibers depolarized and the sound waves are conducted to the brain. Now we will go to the balance part of the ear, that is the vestibular apparatus. Vestibular apparatus also have two parts, that is the semicircular canals and otolith organ. What is semicircular canals? Semicircular canals are 3 in number. Okay, semicircular canals are 3 in number in each ear, both the ear, this side here, both here we have three canals, so totally 9 canals. So these canals have certain projections. Okay, what are these projections? Crista ampullaris. Crista ampullaris have hair cells. This crista ampullaris have, I show you the image. This crista ampullaris is a projection, the specified projection of these canals. So they have hair cells which act towards the change in gravity. Clear? So crista and ampulla, these together form crista ampullaris. Next is see this part. This is how the crista ampullaris will be arranged. So hair cells will be present and the nerve fibers will be present. If the we fall bend down, these hair cells bend down. So nerve fibers depolarized and the information goes to the brain. Likewise, if we stand, they strictly stand upwards and the nerve fibers are stimulated again. Next part is otolith organ. Otolith organ have two structures. What are they? Saccule and utricle. Saccule and utricle also have a specialized structure called macula. Like crista ampullaris, here we have macula. This macula also sense for gravity, and they also have hair cells. But what is the difference between these two means? Semicircular canals is meant for dynamic balance. Very, very, very important. Note this, dynamic balance, that is when we are moving. So this is static balance when we are erect, statics. So when we are standing in a particular position. So this is what our ear. So how the sound flows through the ear? See here, the pinna collects the sound waves and the sound waves flows through the external auditory canal and hits the dictorial membrane. So this malleus incus and stapes are oscillating and reaches the inner ear. Here in the inner ear, what happens? I told you, no, this otolith organ are stimulated and changes their hair cells position and contact with the tectorial membrane, and the afferent nerve fibers connect the information to the brain. That's it, how we hear the sound, children. So very easy, no? So if you have any doubt, please comment in the comment section and subscribe for more videos.